My name is Kara Zor-El. I crash landed on this planet from when my pod got stuck in the blah blah blah, and then it's like, I am Supergirl. And then the Flash has one, and Arrow has one. Arrow says, I had to become somebody else. I had to become something.
Wait, what do you mean this is a crossover?
This is the first. Okay, let's just jump in because if you don't.
Am I supposed to know that?
Okay. I mean, actually I didn't say that, so no. Anyway.
That's okay.
Okay, we're on.
Kathleen's here.
It's me. It's just me.
It's just Kathleen. It's her 50th episode.
Yeah.
So
Julie
we're
sounds so
hyped.
excited about it.
Ew.
That's so many hours spent together.
I know.
That is 50 more hours than we've ever spent together.
That's the
since
longest
middle school.
amount of time we've ever hung out. But that's okay. Our bond's gotten stronger.
Oh, every day, sis.
Yeah. It's so true. Anyways, so 50 eps.
Yep.
How do you feel?
Great.
Any different?
No.
No.
Is this really 50, Matt?
Roughly.
Okay.
I think 50 kind of landed in the middle of the holiday run, and we were just like, well, I think it's 50 if we start from when you officially became a co-host.
So without Grays and Hill House.
Yeah, like not including like the 3 or 4 random appearances that you made prior to that.
Oh, it's good to be a co-host, baby. Give me behind a mic. I'll talk my fucking face off.
And we're talking naturally about a CW show because she is the queen of CW. She's the reason that they are still existing.
Yeah, it was kind of a chaotic day. I chose originally iZombie 20-Sided Die, which is a season 3 episode. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons episode, and it's really funny and really good, but I watched it today and I was like, I don't know that Julie's gonna connect with this by any means.
I don't connect with much.
So what I chose was Supergirl, and it's so every year the Arrowverse does a crossover with all the shows. This Supergirl episode I made Julie watch was basically Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow all on one show.
Oh, I thought that was always like that.
So like the pure joy of having all 4 of those shows come together, and that's why like when they're RSVPing in the beginning for Barry and Iris's wedding, they're all just like, it's like Star City, National City, like it's hopping, Central City, it's hopping to all the different ones because they're not all on the same show. It's really tough to get into the Arrowverse like nowadays, now that there's going to be 6 seasons of Supergirl, 7 of The Flash, Arrow's over now, because there's so many crossovers. You would technically have to be watching them all at the same time. Like you watch episodes 1 of Supergirl and then 1 of Arrow, 1 of Flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched it all backwards. Arrow came first, and then Barry Allen was on Arrow for a stint. They gave him a spinoff of The Flash, and then The Flash was on Supergirl. And then it's all.
Yeah, so she didn't tell me that when I watched it.
So I picked iZombie. I watched it. I didn't. So I picked Supergirl. I would have just chose the pilot. Supergirl is my favorite of the whole Arrowverse. I mean, did you like Melissa Benoist Singley? Melissa Benoist is her name, the actress.
The girl that plays Supergirl. Yeah.
And is she good in Glee? I never saw it.
So she is not an original Glee person. She comes in like, I want to say like season, like after Leah Michelle graduates. Like it's like then she comes in.
Fuck Leah Michelle, by the way.
Yeah, she sucks. And yeah, I loved her. She plays like this like
darker hair, right?
Yeah, and like kind of like nerdy. Her mom is like a heavyset like cafeteria person, and she gets like picked on for that. It's actually, Glee is like really fucking sad. I just like want everyone to know that.
Did you notice Grant Gustin, aka Barry Allen, is also from Glee?
No, who is he in Glee?
The Flash. He's in Glee. I think he's in a couple episodes of Glee.
Oh wait, yes.
He's like a bad.
Oh my god, I
click.
didn't realize that was him until you said that.
Yeah.
He's from like a different, like a private school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So fun fact. Okay. Just so we're doing season 3, episode 8, I think it is. And it's called Crisis on Earth X. And it's a first episode of a 4-part crossover, like an epic crossover where they go, the Supergirl episode happens first. And then so say you're binging Supergirl and only Supergirl. If you want to know what happens in the rest of the crossover, you have to go to like The Flash season 4, episode 8 and watch the next episode. And then you have to go to Arrow season 6, episode 8. Like you have to find the crossovers in the other shows. Which is interesting because Batwoman joined the Arrowverse, which is another really interesting thing because Ruby Rose was Ruby Rose. She was Batwoman and then quit or like left. So they recast Batwoman for season 2 completely, but I don't know how they're going to address it. But Batwoman's not on Netflix. So for a later crossover, I just straight up, I mean, I watched it when I recorded it on the DVR, but when I was re-binging Supergirl during quarantine, I just like couldn't watch that episode of the crossover because Batwoman's not on Netflix. It's like a real bitch. Like you have to really get invested to watch all these shows. So basically, this is my favorite episode of the crossovers. We're at Barry and Iris's wedding, which is just, I love it. It's the song at the end. Like I love Joe's speech. Fun fact. Joe, Iris's dad, is also kind of Barry's dad. Like they adopted Barry as a kid because his mom was murdered and his dad was framed for it. So his dad went to jail. Oh, the backstories of all these shows are amazing. First of all, I know I just said that it's a real bitch and it's tough to get into these shows. They're fucking amazing. Yeah. Like, let me just paint a picture. It was 2017. I started watching season 2 of Supergirl. I binged season 1 really quick and I started watching it because Kyler Lee, aka Lexi Gray, left Grey's and joined Supergirl, and I was like, all right, let's see what this is about. And I was just fucking
I was gonna ask you if she left Grey's for Supergirl.
I don't know if that was a direct correlation. I think she left to like figure something else out and then got Supergirl. But she's so badass and cool in it. Isn't she funny in it?
At first, I didn't even recognize her. Like when you said Lexi Gray, and I was like, where? And then then obviously you realize it's her. But like in the very beginning, I was like, I don't know what she's talking about.
So I would have liked to choose a Supergirl episode that's like fully Supergirl because you don't even get Kara's like full personality in this. Kara is like the sweetest, kindest, dorkiest person, and she's so charming, and the whole cast is exactly like that. It's just such a fun show to watch, and it's like you got to address the corniness and just like take it for what it is because you're watching a show that's just supposed to be like uplifting and like hope, like you know what I mean. Supergirl's fucking lit, but this is the best because all of my favorite shows are on one screen and my like brain explodes because they're all just like friends.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's why I didn't know it was a crossover. So I think that's why I liked the episode because I was like, oh, it's just like a cute little superhero show.
Yeah. Like everyone just bopping around. No, so you don't even get to meet like the core Supergirl characters. You only meet Kara and Alex. Those are the only, everyone else is still, I mean, I guess you do see like in the very beginning, Mon-El, who is Kara's ex-boyfriend, you see like Kara and Alex are both going through breakups during this, or like sad girls. So normally Kara's like upbeat, dorky, whatever. Do you know like any of the backstories of any of these people? You want me to run it through really quick?
Yeah, you can.
Kara is from Krypton. She's Superman's cousin, in case you're wondering. Okay. Krypton died, exploded, and they sent Superman and Kara. Kara's technically 13 years older than Clark, but got like Clark's pod went straight to Earth and Kara got lost in the Phantom Zone. So for like 13, however many years she was in the Phantom Zone, Clark like grew up to be an adult and Kara was still like her 13-year-old body like stuck in the Phantom Zone. Yeah. So she had to like, this is just like strictly about her. Superman does come in season 2, whatever. So technically she's an alien. And then she just like protects National City, but nobody knows who she is. Like her disguise is glasses. It's classic Superman, right? Yep. So Barry is a metahuman. He's the Flash. He lives in Central City. Also, Kara lives on a different Earth than Barry. Did you get that?
Well, so she says what's Lexi's Alex?
Yeah.
When she has like the one night stand thing, she makes a comment like, "You're not supposed, like, don't go to another Earth or something." I forget like the term she uses, and I'm like, "What is happening?"
I should have prefaced something. I should have watched it with you, is what it should have been. Yeah. But I like when Alex is like, "What? They don't have clouds on this Earth?" Because she's so fucking hungover. So she is on Earth 38. And everyone else is on the same Earth. So Central City for Flash, Star City for Arrow, and then Legends of Tomorrow just like travel, or like time travel. They're not a specific time anywhere. They're wacky. I've saved that to watch in 2021. I've only seen the first season, and apparently it gets like way better in the later seasons. But so Barry, like a particle accelerator exploded and made him a metahuman. So technically he's the fastest man alive. That's his like superpower. He's like fast, but he wasn't always that way. It was just like a particle accelerator exploded. And then Oliver, hot Oliver, isn't he just the hottest man in the whole world? He is a vigilante, so he doesn't have any superpowers, but he's just like trained to death. Like he's like like with arrows. I guess that's why it's called the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 3 core. And then Legends of Tomorrow, the girl who hooks up with Alex, Sarah Lance, started on Arrow and then got pretty much the spinoff. She died on Arrow. They brought her back to life. It's crazy shit. Arrow's the crazy one. Arrow's like the dark, scary one. It's not actually scary, but it's like Oliver's like the broody, like whatever. Yeah. Whereas Barry and Kara are like the fun, goofy, like quirky ones. But they get dark too, but they're like the fun ones.
Who was the superhero that like whenever she gets like sad or
Oh, you like recognize her though, right?
Yeah, so I think she's actually a superhero because she's from Sky High.
I know. What's her name? I can't remember it. Danielle Panabaker. Yeah.
She is a superhero.
She is a superhero. She's Caitlin Snow. She's from the Flash show. Caitlin Snow, and she's turns into Killer Frost when she's like whatever. But yeah, I was like, oh, Julie will probably recognize her.
Yeah, her and Alex and Kara were the only ones and Flash, I guess, are the only people. No, I'm lying.
What?
The guy who I guess is like, who's the guy that was like trying to like convince the other guy to be Spider-Man? He's in like everything. What's that actor's
he was just
name?
in Happiest Season. Victor Garber.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I didn't know any people. The more I was like, I actually knew a lot of the cast.
Yeah. So basically, this episode is the crisis on Earth X is that there's like a theory of infinite Earths where all the Earths are occupying the same space, but they're in a different vibrational frequency. So like there's so many different lifetimes or like Earths and alternate universes happening all at once. So that's why Kara's Earth 38, their Earth 1. So this is Earth X, and it's like a world where Nazis won the war. And it's just like scary and stupid. And everyone, like the tagline of the whole episode is like, I hate Nazis. Like, it's so dumb. But it's fun. And in the beginning, they're all like fighting their own specific, like Barry fighting the shark, like King Shark is a thing. Kara, when she's fighting the Dominators, and she's like, this is so last year. It's because the Dominators was the last crossover. It's like they're trying to do like little jabs, little like bows. So what did you think? Tell me.
I liked it. I actually loved, and now it's like stupid all the things I loved because it was a crossover.
Yeah.
So like I didn't know that. I said that like 100 times, but I loved the beginning of like all of them like fighting villains and talking at the same time of like if they RSVP'd to this wedding.
Yes, but that's what these shows are like. Yeah. And instead of all the different people from the different shows, so like Iris is the lead of the Flash crew where she'll like talk to everybody through the comms because she doesn't have a superpower, but she does that. Felicity is like the super smart one on that crew, and her and Oliver are together, and she's like really funny and cool, which is why the moment where she's like, I don't want to marry you is like really intense.
Aggressive.
I mean, Oliver is like so hard to love sometimes. He really is. But it's like that. I mean, everyone in each, like they're called like the Super Friends, or like Team Flash or whatever it is, they're so quirky and stupid and fun. Like that's the stuff you like from this is only amplified by like the different crews, but that's just how it is normally anyway. I love it.
Yeah.
It makes me so fucking happy.
Dude, I gotta say, like, we talked about how this is about like a wedding or whatever, and I did not see, I guess because I don't know what the show's about, or maybe you were the same way, of like as they're about to get married, like the villain comes and blows up the priest.
It's
like,
so classic.
Oh my God. Like for me, I was just like, what is happening? Like I thought, so the girl that goes up to Flash, like the waitress person.
Yes, tell me more.
Is that his wife?
No, it's his daughter from the future, which is such a good call out because we don't know that yet. Like when you're watching this live, you didn't know that it's Nora West Allen. She also has the same powers as Flash, and they can time travel basically, as you see. Like Barry talks about it in this episode. But Nora comes back, and you don't find out till like the season finale of that season. It's like a lit surprise because she keeps popping up in random episodes, and you're like, what the fuck is this girl doing?
Well, so I thought that she looked kind of similar to his wife, and then the end. So I'm like. So then I was like, did he like cheat on his wife? Like, is she gonna object? Because it was just such a weird, like, that him just being like, do I know you from somewhere? And her just being like, no. And it was just like, they obviously know each other from somewhere. What is happening?
Yeah.
So when they asked if someone was going to object, I swore it was going to be her.
Well, I mean, it's classic, like, does anyone have anything, like, does anyone oppose? And it's like Nazis, like, it's crazy. One of the things people look for and complain about Marvel versus DC is that it's like, no one has the budget to do Infinity Wars or Endgame on television. But some of these crossovers, like, they're impressive. I'm, like, very impressed by these. And I like following the actors and actresses. Each of these characters, like, leads their ship, right? Like, Melissa Benoist runs the Supergirl set. Like, she is the captain of the ship. And then having all three of them, or four, depending on which shows are in it, come together and, like, work on these crazy schedules for, like, an entire month to get these episodes done. And, like, all the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's really cool to see it all come together. I feel like you should watch Supergirl. I mean, you're never going to. And I know
you just keep like piling things on my list that's stressing me out, although I'm knocking them out.
Yeah, the Bold Type is so easy and fun to watch.
It is. I'm on season 3 and I finished The Flight Attendant on HBO. Did you watch that?
I have HBO Max.
You don't need HBO Max if you have HBO. I
don't know what that means.
Do you have HBO?
Yeah.
Download the app and use your username, and I promise you will have access to HBO Max.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you.
One of my favorite comedic moments that I was obsessed with when I remember watching it live and rewinding it 80 times when Barry is getting his tux on and Oliver's in the back talking to him, and then Oliver comes out looking so hot, and then Barry just turns around and goes, damn.
Yeah.
Their friendship is because Oliver's so serious and broody all the time, and Barry is so goofy. Like, even when he's like, I've been known to catch up, and Barry's just like, because the Flash like runs.
Yeah.
There's another crossover they did was called Duet, and that was just a Supergirl Flash crossover, and it was a full musical.
You love musical
Dude,
episodes.
what's the dark-haired guy's name from Glee who did that true crime thing?
Is it Darren?
Yes, Darren Criss. Okay, so Darren Criss is like the music meister, right? And at this point in season 2, Barry and Iris just broke off their engagement. Or season 3 for Flash. Season 2 for Supergirl, Mon-El and Kara just broke up. So they're really sad. So Darren Criss's music meister comes and he tricks them into like a dreamlike state, and they have to like find their way out of a musical. It's insane. At the end of the episode, the goal of the Music Meister is for them to find love again with Mon-El and hot Mon-El. They're married in real life now. Melissa Benoist and Chris Wood, like the guy who plays Mon-El. Anyway, the very end of that episode, Barry sings to Iris. It's a little bit cringy, I'm not gonna lie. Running Home to You, which is what she sings at the wedding, which is like a really cute callback.
Oh, that is cute.
And again, it's like a fun play on like, all I want to do is come running home to you. And it's like, he's the Flash, he runs.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah,
cute.
I know. And I love that. I have it saved on my, like the day I watched it live, I like recorded it on my phone. I'm like, it's like a Snapchat memory, and every year when it pops up, I'm like, I just love these.
Wait, the musical episode.
Kara singing in this episode I recorded.
I was going to say, because I feel like you've Snapchatted me or maybe posted your story of the musical episode.
Oh, always.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I feel like I knew what you were going to say before you said it.
They have the most corny songs in the world in that, but all of them are really talented singers, so I think that's why they do it. It's not like Grey's where it's like, you shouldn't have Owen singing.
Yeah, but you love the musical episode of Grey's, and
I love it.
It makes me want to just fall over and die.
You know, I just like the idea of like flexing your muscles a little bit and being like, let's try something out. Let's try something different. Let's make it fun. Let's try and incorporate. Let's like go off book. I just like that. I just think it's cool.
It is cool.
It's like really cool.
Yeah. So explain to me the ending of this episode. So we were talking about how they're about to like say I do, and a villain comes in and like kills the priest, and
the priest just evaporated.
Yeah, we don't know if he's dead. We don't really know where he went. But then all the superheroes are like fighting the villains, or the Nazis, as you would say. And they're like, who is that girl? And nobody knows who it is. And then at the end, they show all the faces of them. Yeah. And I don't know.
Okay, so a recurring theme in this show is doppelgangers as well, because every Earth has basically the same people. Now, it's a little tricky because technically Kara's not really supposed to be on Earth. So it's like, would there be another Kara? Because her pod got knocked off course.
Yeah.
And it's like, either way, I don't know that there's a Supergirl on every Earth. There's definitely not a Flash on every Earth, because so technically Supergirl was a CBS show in the first season, which is so crazy. I don't even know how they got the crossover to work. So Barry comes in, and it's like this really funny moment where like Kara's in her Supergirl outfit, and he saves her for something. She's like, I don't need to be saved. And they're kind of like big dicking each other, being like, I'm like the strongest woman alive, and she's like, well, I'm the fastest. And they like race, and they're like doing shit, and they're just like so mind boggled by each other. He's like, I'm the Flash. And she's like, I have no idea what you mean. She's like, I'm Supergirl. He's like, okay.
Oh my
like
God.
It's really cute and funny. So the way this ends, Barry and Kara are obviously the bad guys. Eobard Thawne is in the yellow Flash suit, like the fast guy. He's who killed Barry's mom. So he is like the ultimate villain. Like, he was the season 1's big bad. And also, weirdly enough, they take that actor. He's in every season. He plays a different character every season, because Infinite Earth, Harrison Wells, doppelgangers, just a different one comes every season. So he plays a different character. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes he's goofy. Sometimes he's a dick. Sometimes, like, it's so weird.
We just don't know what we're getting.
Right. I'll spoil it a little bit for you because I doubt you're going to do it. Kara from Earth X is really sick, and they need a heart transplant from Kara. So they're doing all of this to get our Kara's heart, which is like what you find out in the later episodes. Oh, it's really good. It's really fucking good. But they also, like, a lot of the cop-out stuff is like, some of the deaths aren't as final because they can either, like, they brought Sarah Lance back to life. Laurel dies in Arrow, and I watched that for the first time at work on my phone, and I was sobbing at my desk, and I didn't know what to do because I was like, I look visibly fucked up. Like, I watched it at lunch, and I was like, I can't show my face. What am I supposed to do? People are going to come back to the office and be like, were you sobbing? That's how like effective her death was.
You can't watch this stuff at work.
I know. And then they just brought back her doppelganger as like a different Laurel. I'm like, ugh. And she's mean, so she's not even as good as the original Laurel.
Yeah, you just wasted your tears.
Yeah,
I hate when they do doppelgangers on shows, only because it confuses me. I'm like, who's who? Like they did it on Vampire Diaries, and I'm like, who the fuck's who? What is happening? Mm-hmm. And I know that's the point.
Yeah, I mean, nothing makes sense, but I think it's so like it's very smartly written. Like even this episode with Firestorm trying to like separate each other, like Victor Garber's character is trying to make him Spider-Man, as you said. Whatever it is, I love all that. Like they're all pretty much geniuses. Like even Barry Allen was a CSI and just like genius level smarts as well. So is Iris. She's a reporter. Kara's a reporter. Felicity's a genius. Cisco's a genius. They're all just geniuses. I don't know where they find each other.
Yeah.
But they're all a good crew, and the love stories are really good in all of it. Felicity and Oliver, I used to watch YouTube compilations of like people putting like sad songs and like those two. Cause I'm like, this is a good love story. It's good. I loved Alex and Maggie, and that's who Alex's coming out story in season 2 is like so incredible, and at the same time Kara's like falling in love with Mon-El, and it's just like the best, most lovey season in the world.
Yeah,
it's so good. That's like my comfort season of TV is season 2 of Supergirl. It's so good. The first time Mon-El and Kara kiss, it's to a Sleeping at Last cover of Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. And like swoon. Absolutely.
The things that swoon you are just so...
I'm such a sucker.
Yeah. But for such weird things.
Who did you like the best?
Interesting question.
That is.
No, I want to say it was probably Alex because I thought she was funny, but I don't know if I'm saying that because of her being Lexi Gray.
She is so good in this. Like, I always thought she was incredible as Lexi Gray. I thought her acting was phenom. So she brings those chops to the CW, baby. Because sometimes the CW isn't always... It's honestly crazy because Melissa Benoist is so good as well. The drama of Supergirl, the fandom, do you want to know the fandom, Supergirl drama, is that in Superman lore, it's like Lex Luthor's his like biggest like opponent, nemesis, whatever. Lex Luthor, right? He's like a bald guy who wants to kill supers. He hates Kryptonians. So in our Supergirl universe, Lena Luthor is his little sister, and she's good, right? For the most part. So it's not a bad Luthor, but she's always just like going against the reputation that she's a Luthor and people think she's bad. But they end up being best friends. The fandom is fucking livid that they don't make those two date. It's called Supercorp, so it's like Luthor Corp is Lena's company and Lex's company, and then Supercorp is the ship name, and it's like people are just like livid. People are like, this show's not worth watching because they don't have Lena, and I am the first ones to be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And I would love it, but I don't think they ever really crossed the line. I get it. There's some like longing looks, and they like fight a lot, because the best part about superhero shows, and even iZombie, right? It's like you're waiting for the people they love to find out that they're Supergirl, or that they're a zombie, or that they're the Flash. You know what I mean? It's like even Iris doesn't know that Barry is the Flash for a long time, you know? And it's so riveting to like when Ali Michalka's character in iZombie finds out that Liv is a zombie, it's like heartbreaking, but the reunion is just so much better. Like you wait and wait and wait. She doesn't tell Lena until last season, like season 5. And it's like the worst reaction because Lena is just like a scorned woman. Like everyone betrays her. And it's like, I have no idea why this show does that. So I feel like people are just mad about that too. But they really just want them together. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. But I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think the show's fate is whether or not they're together or not. You know, people hate Mon-El, and I love Mon-El, and he's so hot.
And he wasn't in this episode at all, right?
He was in it when he walks up when Kara's fighting the Dominator.
Yeah.
And Alex is at the DEO looking, and he's like, what's up? Is she okay? And she's like, yeah, she's Supergirl. Like she says it to Mon-El.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I noticed.
So the drama there is that the season 2 plot line was that Daxamites. He's from Daxam, the planet Daxam, right? So he's an alien too. He's not as strong, he can't fly, but he's like he has powers too. He comes and it's like hot boy alert. Like they just like booked the hottest hot boy. At the end, Daxamites invade, so they have to like fill the air with lead that poisons Daxamites. And so he has to leave. So at the end of season 2, he has to leave Earth. And it's like devastating, right?
Yep.
And then in the next season, he comes back. But since he was like in another like universe or whatever, the time moved faster, and he came back and he was like 8 years older and married. And the drama. That's why she's so upset right now. That's the backstory.
Sorry, I'm
you're not paying attention.
No, I'm looking him up.
Chris Wood.
Oh, he is handsome.
Wynn is Jeremy Jordan, who's like a phenomenal singer and is on Broadway and all. You ever see The Last 5 Years with Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan? It's like a really sad Netflix movie.
No,
Singing.
I love a good sad movie.
Yeah,
Is it
I
good?
haven't seen it because Kevin's like, you're just gonna sob and sob. I was like,
Kevin.
I gotta save it then, and then I just never click on it. But apparently, it's incredible. But he was in Newsies. He's very talented. He is like the most charming. He's the dorky best friend.
Yeah.
Of Kara. She's like he's the first person she tells when she becomes Supergirl. Oh, it's so funny.
I love your passion. Like you're not like you're so much more. Even when I picked my favorite episode, like you're just the passion. Like,
what do you mean?
You're like giddy.
I know.
You're moving your feet nonstop.
You didn't pick your favorite. Oh, you picked Alex.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's hard for me to say because it was like I watched 6 shows in one show.
Yeah. So. When you would see Kara, like if you watch the pilot, you would just fall in love with her. She's so charming. Yeah. I'm obsessed with her. I mean,
she's very charming in Glee too. I think she's just a charming person.
She is, and she's also just a fucking amazing person in real life. Melissa is like an amazing person. She does like her and Chris Wood. Well, it's really Chris Wood's like company. They do like an I Don't Mind. It's called I Don't Mind for mental health awareness. They're just like money people. She just had a baby, and I think that's why season 6 is going to be the last of Supergirl. They announced it. I think she just wants to spend time with her family, and
you're devastated at that.
Oh, I'm devastated. Yeah. I mean, when I was watching Courtney, my friend Courtney, shout out Courtney, was watching Supergirl, and I was like wowed by the fact, because I truly never have met another human who watches it, which is crazy. I think Shannon watches it actually, but we don't really talk about that one. But so she was like messaging me things, and I was like, okay, now I have to re-binge it. So I binged Supergirl 5 seasons so fast. I mean, like a week and a half maybe, through like 22 hour-long episodes. seasons. When it ended, I was like, I mean, just my bones were gone. I was like weak. I didn't know what to do. It was like I was so like
you're like the lady in Game
it.
of Thrones where she takes her necklace off and she just like turns
literally
to a 9-year-old.
Oh, I just think it's so good, and I keep saying the word charming because that's just what it is. The storylines are good. Season 1, of course, every first season of these shows are like lower budget, so it's like bad of the week, like who's the villain of the week, and you're just like it's a little bit corny. And then they just pick it up. It just gets really, really good. Season 3 is my favorite, in case anyone was wondering. We're in the middle of my favorite season. Damn, I love it.
I know.
Wait, don't you love like at the end when Kara, she's like boys, and like takes her thing off, and it's like she's bad because she's a dark lip. Yeah. She's wearing dark lipsticks. That's how you know she's bad.
I'm like, what is happening?
It's really good.
Yeah,
like it is. If you ever were bored and wanted to just like finish out the thing to see what happens, they beat the Nazis.
Good to know.
Yeah, they
is
always.
There like a dramatic like she takes the mask off and she's like
no.
Oh.
I mean, in the next episode, they all face off.
Oh.
Like they take. I mean, it's blatantly them. There's literally, they're like, who is she? It's like, she has your same haircut, sis.
Yeah,
it's you.
It's you.
And like, you know that in the first crossover with Barry and Kara, he's explaining the infinite Earth theory to her. And it's like, say this one is like where the Nazis won the World War. And it's like, okay, you literally did that. It's like a permanent, like, you know, this is happening. You know, they're from a different Earth. It's going to be them.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be you guys.
Yeah, it's like you're predicting it.
I love it. Quick thing. The guy they capture from Earth X at the end ends up being Oliver's best friend, doppelganger, who died in season 1. So it's like a really good twist. It doesn't happen until the next season, or the next episode, though. They unmask him, and Oliver's like, because it's his best friend. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's a lot of good twists, and it's a lot of good fan service. A lot of nods, a lot of, like, for anyone who watches all of the shows. Sarah Lance is so funny in this because she's usually not so, like, I feel like she was like tough guy in it a little bit, even when she was like talking to Alex. Yeah. But when Alex is like, I just went through a breakup, and Sarah's like, oh, what do you do or something? And she's like, she, and then Sarah's like, I love it, give her the eyes. I'm like, they're gonna kiss. Yeah, it's good. 50th episode.
Yeah. And you guys could definitely feel the smile that was on her face the entire time she talked. Kathleen has this way of just like talking, even when she texts me and I'm like, you're smiling right now. Like, I know. She's smiling.
I love that.
She's beaming.
Yeah, I'm beaming. I could talk about this for forever. Supergirl is my favorite. I'm going to rewatch Flash and Arrow this year, I think. But yes, that was my 50th. I'm glad I chose that, although iZombie is the best, and maybe I'll do that for my 70th. 70th.
All right, so that wraps it up for today.
Yep. I am Supergirl.
You heard it here first.
I was so obsessed that they say like El Mayara, which means like stronger together, is like a Krypton like coat of arms, whatever it is. And I was like, I'm getting that tattooed on my body somewhere.
I actually can't wait for that day.
I mean, it fades. Like not the tattoo, the want of the tattoo. But anyway, stronger together.
I'll get her drunk one time and we'll do it. Not will. I mean,
if I get a tattoo of anything, I'm getting a hedge witch tattoo from Magicians. That's it. Oh, you heard it here first. I'm going to just get all my shows tattooed all over my arm.
She has a sleeve of her favorite CW shows. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Kathleen, thank you for being a co-host for the last 50 episodes. Woo! It has been a dream.
Thanks for letting me geek out.
You are my pride and joy.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Bye.
This has been My Favorite Episode Of. My Favorite Episode Of is produced by Matt Kelly as part of the Geekscape Network and hosted by Julie and Kathleen. Check out our show notes for all of our socials and email us at myfavoriteepisodepodcast@gmail.com. Rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting apps, and we'll be back next week with another episode of My Favorite Episode Of.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.